If the battery's not turning on, the first thing I would check is basic battery connections. Now they all have little pins in there that actually connect onto the connectors there. Over time and vibration and things going on, those pins can get weaker and you need to go in there and just check them that they are making a good contact. So that is the first place. So you've got your plugs there that are coming from all your controls. Now one of the things that is a vulnerable part on an electric bike is the push buttons up here. Of dampness or weather getting it. It's always, it doesn't matter what brand of e-bike you've got, it's always going to be a vulnerable part. So that there, if that's got any water damage in it, of course your off and on switch isn't going to work. So the simple way to eliminate that in that process is unplug that display, and if you haven't got a spare display there, you've got another bike nearby, plug it, put them nose to nose, plug the other display from that bike into this bike, oh, it works. So you know it's something there. Doesn't work, okay, it's not the display. So then you have to go to the next thing. So okay, the power hasn't come on. Now, so you say, okay, maybe it could be the battery. So what I do again, if you've got another bike that you know is going with another battery, take that battery out, put the other battery in. Test it, goes, brilliant. You know the fault's the battery. That's not good news, but but you know what the fault is. And then of course if it still doesn't turn on with a different battery in, you know that's not the fault. So it's just a process of elimination of plug and play. It really is. You don't have to have electronic skills.
And or it could be the charger.
Yeah, or it could be the charger. So I test that as well. So if you put the voltmeter on the battery, it could still be reading 42 volts, which is a full charge. Now we don't have the equipment to load test that battery. Okay, some do, some won't. But you don't really have to, because that's the process of swapping a battery, because you're actually doing a load test in that sense, like putting a different battery on. So if your battery is still wrecked and still not working, you would test your voltage, because what happens in a battery, it's all made up of the cells that are all down through there, and up the top here it has an electronic board called a BMS. And that's a battery monitoring system. So that there is the brain of the battery, to make sure it doesn't overcharge, it discharges equally, and also has a low voltage cutout to protect the battery. So there's lots of things happening in that. So in a fault of a battery, common things is weak or dying cells, and so therefore as soon as the battery comes under load, that one battery is sucking all the juice out of the other good batteries to try and recoup itself, and that's where you get the low voltage cutout. So the bike just stops. But the battery could still be reading 42 volts on the meter. You see, this is the trick. So, or it can actually be a BMS fault that's doing the same thing. So even though you've got a voltage reading, it doesn't mean the battery's sweet, because it could be a deeper fault within inside.